I grew up fly fishing since the age of 2 and absolutely love fly fishing and all things water sports. So these neighborhood tours are especially exciting for me to bring these to you and to shoot these videos because it's something I'm really passionate about. So we're gonna be showing you some really exquisite, really incredible neighborhoods that are all on water, all have access to amazing fly fishing, and several of these also have ponds in them. So what we're gonna do is go into the pros and cons. We're not just gonna sugarcoat it, not just gonna show you all the amazing things about these. We're going to talk about the weather, talk about the driveways, the roads, the distance to things. A lot of these subdivisions are about the 30 to 35 minute range from downtown Durango, and we're going to show you the distance from Bayfield. They're a lot closer to Bayfield as these are in Bayfield. We're going to discuss the tree coverage. Are you going to get views? Are you not going to get views? Are you going to feel like you're just kind of too tucked into the trees? Are there some homes that aren't on water and some homes that are? By the way, guys, if you've been thinking about moving, I'd love to help you with all of your real estate needs. Licensed realtor here in Southwest Colorado, Bayfield, Durango, Pagosa Springs, Mancos, this entire area, as well as New Mexico. So reach out, give me a text, call, email, days, nights, weekends. Once you reach out, we'll either book a call on Zoom or just hop on a phone call and discuss exactly what your criteria is and just see how we can help you. So let me know. More than happy to also put the drone in the air, give you some neighborhood or property tours, walk through with this camera I'm shooting on right now and show you properties you're looking at, just to show you what we're just gonna walk through all these differences, show you the difference of square footage, acreage, show you the types of homes, just give you some really good drone footage as well. So I'm really excited to show you these homes. We're also gonna not just show you neighborhoods, we're also gonna show you some other areas where they aren't in HOAs, they aren't in neighborhoods, you don't have those restrictions as well. So if you're really trying to get away from the HOA, get away from those covenants, we are gonna show you some really cool properties as well that are gonna touch on those items and not have HOAs. So let's jump into it. All right, now we're in River Ranch. And so this subdivision is only about 5 to 10 minutes away from Bayfield and about 35 minutes from downtown Durango. So to give you some context and just some reasons why I personally really love this subdivision, this is probably one of my top 5 favorites out of the entire county. And to give you a few reasons why, the first reason is all of the water. Now, of course, just being riverfront, having this river access is incredible. You already know that's what we're talking about in this video. But what I really love about it is the structure of the water. So I grew up fly fishing since I was about 2 years old. I was on my dad's back while he was fishing, learned at a really young age and absolutely love fly fishing. And so I'm looking at this structure of this river on the other side of me, the Pine River here, and it has really good structure, really good areas for fish to hold up in, just great fly fishing all around. And then what is really unique about this subdivision compared to others is a lot of subdivisions that have river frontage have the home, and the home has access to that river, to that spot where the river is at, and nobody else has that access. Whereas this subdivision, you have about 3/4 of a mile of river frontage along a bunch of different homes, but everybody has access to that. So right behind me here, you see this pond, and there's several other ponds, and then they lead to the river, and there's parking over here, and there's about a 16-acre kind of island right here that's right off of the river that everybody has access to. So they can also access the river that way, and then they can wade up the river. Now, right now it's flowing pretty quick, but just in general, they do have access to fishing that 3/4 mile section of the river approximately. And then you have access to both sides. So regarding the trail and the walkability, you have about 1.5 miles of trail access. Then personally, I really love that you've got these ponds to fish as well. You have the ability to paddleboard on these, swim in these. They are a little bit shallow, but just really beautiful scenery all around these ponds. And another thing that my clients that are looking at properties like this right now really didn't like in another subdivision was just that the home was surrounded by trees. Although they had that river frontage, they're fully surrounded by trees, really didn't have any view at all. You couldn't see maybe more than 50 yards away from you, if that. And so this subdivision does a phenomenal job of having nice open spaces. A lot of the homes are on really nice flat land with grass, really pretty landscaping throughout. Regarding the trees, you're gonna see a lot of aspen trees, you're gonna see a lot of cottonwood as well as pine trees. You can kind of see behind me here, good mix, and you really have some nice views. Now there's not big mountain views in here. I don't know that there's very many riverfront homes where you have those big mountain views, but you still have some good views. As you can kind of see behind me right there, there's that ridge. So you have kind of these ridges surrounding you and you're still close to town. Another few things is it is a gated subdivision, all paved roads, and it's a fairly small subdivision. So the con is you might not see very many homes come on the market in this neighborhood in, say, 12-month time period. However, depending on the time you watching this video, a home just came or didn't come on the market yet, but I was just made aware of a property that's coming on the market. It's gonna be $1.99 million. If you want more info on that, shoot me a text or give me a call. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a licensed realtor here in Durango and Southwest Colorado. I would love to help you even if you're considering Pagosa, Bayfield, Mancos, Durango, all of this Southwest area, and reach out. Happy to get you a video of that property. It's still off market as of the time of filming this video, but really, really stunning property, as are all of these in here, in my opinion. So kind of a few other stats on this subdivision. Regarding nature, you're definitely gonna see deer, you're gonna see potentially some elk, you're gonna see some red-tailed hawks, turkey vultures, you might even see some eagles because of the fish that are gonna be here. All right, so what you're gonna find is these homes are on propane, but then they are on septic as well. So a little bit more info about this subdivision. You're on between about 2 to 10 acre lots here, and the elevation is up at 7162. Then regarding cons and just traffic, road noise, we'll start with that con. You really don't have any traffic or road noise for maybe 99% of the homes in here. There may be a couple where you're gonna maybe see the road a little bit, but I don't really think you're gonna see or hear much traffic at all. But let me know if there's a specific home you're looking at and I can go out there, shoot a video, give you a real good idea of if I'm hearing any traffic from that specific property. You are allowed to have horses out here. You will see horses out here, so that's really cool thing. Then regarding proximity to things, so you're 35 minutes from downtown Durango. We're using the DoubleTree Hilton Hotel as a reference point. You're 28 minutes to the airport. All right, so now we're here at Pine River Ranch, and I really, really love this subdivision, partly because, of course, because of the river, but also because it's got a really nice pond. And there are several homes that sit right on that pond, like I mentioned. So right over us is the river that goes right through the subdivision, or I should say it's kind of on the edge of the subdivision. So there's some homes that are on the river, there's some homes that aren't, so keep that in mind. And then this is just a really good fishery. As you can kind of tell behind me, some of the footage that I'm hopefully showing you, you're gonna see that there's really great structure in this river, just like the last subdivision I was talking about. And so as we walk back this way, I'll tell you a little bit about the cons, if you will. One road in, there's one bridge here, as you can see, this bridge that I'm on, not a second way in, and so they don't let you subdivide the lots any more than they already are. They do range in size. They're starting right around an acre. Now, by the way, guys, if you've been thinking about moving, I'd love to help you with all of your real estate needs. Licensed realtor here in Southwest Colorado, Bayfield, Durango, Pagosa Springs, Mancos, this entire area, as well as New Mexico. So reach out, give me a text, call, email, days, nights, weekends. Once you reach out, we'll either book a call on Zoom or just hop on a phone call and discuss exactly what your criteria is and just see how we can help you. So let me know. More than happy to also put the drone in the air, give you some neighborhood or property tours, walk through with this camera I'm shooting on right now and show you properties you're looking at, just to show you what. By the way, guys, if you've been thinking about moving, I'd love to help you with all of your real estate needs. Licensed realtor here in Southwest Colorado, Bayfield, Durango, Pagosa Springs, Mancos, this entire area, as well as New Mexico. So reach out, give me a text, call, email, days, nights, weekends. Once you reach out, we'll either book a call on Zoom or just hop on a phone call and discuss exactly what your criteria is and just see how we can help you. So let me know. More than happy to also put the drone in the air, give you some neighborhood or property tours, walk through with this camera I'm shooting on right now and show you properties you're looking at, just to show you what we do differently. Let's jump back into the video. What we do differently. Let's jump back into the video. All right, guys, so we are here at their pond, and I wanted to walk over here to actually show you it. It is really cool. You see the canoes right behind us, picnic tables behind us, and this really nice sized pond. I think this is really unique and really special. There are not many neighborhoods that have this where you can actually utilize it and not just fish. You can really use this, and really, really pretty views throughout. A couple homes that are right on it as well. Again, you can kind of store your paddle boards, your boats right here. Really cool spot. All right, so let's kind of just recap this subdivision. Dirt road, overall pretty flat in here, right around 1 acre lots, and the majority of homes are gonna have some kind of nice view. There's kind of ridges all around you here. Pretty easy to access. It does have one way in. It's got that bridge that they redid in 2010. And again, river, really great fly fishing here in my opinion. I was talking to somebody just a minute ago or earlier, and he mentioned he's pulled out 20-inch browns out of here. Really good sized fish in here, and their pond is really, really cool. The other thing I want to point out is there are some subdivisions that have ponds that don't let you actually get in the water. They're just for looking at or just for fishing. This pond, you can paddleboard, you can kayak, you can canoe, you can do whatever you want on this pond. Obviously there are some restrictions, but you can use the water is what I'm trying to say. So of course, let me know if you want to check out HOA docs, covenants, etc. Happy to get all those docs over to you so you can kind of look into more of those details. If you have specific questions on this neighborhood, of course, or any others, let me know, shoot me a text, call, email. Love to help you guys just in general with all of your real estate needs. Like I mentioned, licensed realtor here in Durango, Bayfield, all of Southwest Colorado. We're out showing homes in Pagosa the other day. I love helping out there as well. A few other things I want to mention, nature. You're going to see bald eagles, you're going to see osprey, you're going to see red-tailed hawks, you're going to see deer walking through here. Saw 5 or 6 deer just the other day. And so there are going to be a lot of nature, a lot of animals that you will see out here as well. And the other thing I want to highlight again, just something that my clients were discussing and did really like about this area is, again, you're not so tucked into the trees. You're not almost claustrophobic with just trees all around you and no views at all. So every home really doesn't have a ton of trees around it, but most have some trees. So it's like if you want kind of that mix, I think this neighborhood does a really good job of that. Again, this is probably on the list of my top 5 neighborhoods. I really, really love it. Not a ton of homes in here. You'll see one every so often pop on the market. But again, reach out to me if you really like this neighborhood, and I can let you know if I've got any clients, anybody I'm talking to that are off market that are thinking about selling in the future. All right, so now we are over in Coolwater Estates, and this area is very different from the last 2 subdivisions where those were somewhat similar in kind of the topography, the trees, the land, the water, and this is just so different. You kind of feel like you drove an hour away from Durango, hour away from Bayfield, and you're just tucked in the forest here, really quiet with the river running right by these properties right behind me here. You can see kind of these big, tall pine trees behind me as well. And I'm gonna look down at my notes, read you a little bit. This river right here, the Pine River, same river, is stocked with rainbow, brown, brook trout, and additionally also stocked with northern pike, kokanee, and walleye salmon as well. So the development borders public land and is at an elevation of right about 7,200 feet, or actually, let me take that back, 7,559 is the elevation here. So a little bit higher than the other subdivisions. Now, I would go closer to the water, but all the homes are right on the water, and obviously I don't want to go onto private property, onto their properties. And this subdivision has over 22 miles worth of shoreline. Really, really cool. Continues up that direction, comes down this way. It's really kind of cool because you drive in this way and you drive around the corner and down into the subdivision, where when you're driving into the subdivision, you don't expect that you're close to the river because you're not when you're driving into the subdivision. So it's kind of unassuming, if you will. And again, close to about 1,000 feet, almost exactly 1,000 feet higher than in town Durango. So it is going to get quite a bit of snow in here. Really want to be cognizant of that. A lot of people are buying these homes as vacation homes. Keep in mind, you are going to want septic and well in here. Go over a few stats. Highest home sold in here was 375. So very big difference from the last subdivisions where we're over 3 million. And there was one on the market for $1 million. Now, home sizes really range, but not huge homes in here. 768 up to 2,040 square feet. And again, septic, propane, and it actually is central water in here, but it will be propane. All right, so distance to things. So I'm gonna give you the distance to a few things in town Durango, just so you're aware. A lot of people call me saying they really wanna be close to Durango or wanna know the distance to things in Durango. City Market in Durango, 31 minutes away. Durango High School is gonna be 34. La Plata County Airport, 36, which is gonna be the closest airport. 34 minutes to downtown, 33 to 34 minutes to Durango. And then Vallecito Lake, only 7 minutes away. So that's something that's really cool about this subdivision is you're really close to to the lake, and all these homes right here are right on the water. Now there are some homes that are lower price points right up the road from here that aren't on the water as well. So obviously once you get that water frontage, price points do increase, but as you go just up the road here, price points do go down. One thing I'd say too, I showed a home in here earlier this year and I was told how well they do at plowing these roads. Now you're going to hear me say that in most subdivisions. I rarely hear a complaint about snow plowing. Overall, snow plowing, they do a really good job just in general. And so let's talk a little bit about the trails. So there's North Canyon Trail, there's East Creek, Bear Creek. There's some really awesome trails here. I think I mentioned this earlier. I just went hiking recently with my wife over to Dollar Lake. Now you don't actually get up to the lake, but it kind of drops down into this canyon. Absolutely stunning views. We just went hiking. That was only like a 10-minute drive away from here until you hit the road that goes up to that trailhead. So there's some really awesome trails here. You're also, like I mentioned, close to Bayfield Reservoir, and let's talk some other water. 19 minutes to Lemon Reservoir, 7 minutes to Bayfield, and obviously you're right here on the Pine River. And trails, again, just talking about trails, biking trails, there are definitely some good stuff right around Bayfield. Some great camping options around Bayfield as well as Lemon Reservoir. Again, only less than 20 minutes away. And Bayfield, you're not a far drive either. It's here about, but we'll put up on the screen the distance to Bayfield. I don't want to guess the exact number from here, but you're within 20 minutes from Bayfield as well. And so again, just talking about the pros and cons of this area, you're further away from town. If you really have to work in town, be in town, if you got kids, you're taken into town quite a bit, you are further from town for sure, from Durango or Bayfield. There is less sun in this area. As you can see behind me, so many of these kind of towering pine trees all around us. So with getting less sun, the ice and the snow is going to melt not nearly as quickly, and you're just going to have that inside of your home is going to be darker. So you want to be cognizant of when you're looking at homes, are there big windows, big open windows? Which way are the windows facing? Granted, if you really love being on the water, this subdivision is one to really put on the list for you. Keep in mind, there's not a lot of homes in this subdivision, so there might be one pop up every now and then. And as desirable as living on the water is, it might be tricky to find somebody that really wants to sell. So every now and then one pops up, but not a huge subdivision. So a few things to keep in mind about this subdivision, just to kind of recap. There are dirt roads. There is the road that comes into this subdivision is a relatively decent grade. I'd say 7% grade downhill. So I would highly recommend having four-wheel drive if you're ever going to be here in the winter, even in the spring when the road is muddier, or later in the fall. And just keep in mind, this subdivision just doesn't have paved roads, and overall you're not going to have like a lot of acreage to be able to like do something on, because all of this area, just big pine trees all throughout. So there's a road that kind of goes through the pine trees, and that's about it. And you got these pine trees that are fairly close together. So I hope that helps with this subdivision. We're now going to go to another part of the river, just show you some other homes that are not in HOAs, not in subdivisions. Let's head over there now. All right, so actually before we head over there, I want to show you this river. Isn't this absolutely stunning? I had to walk over here and show it to you because I think the river is so gorgeous. If you fly fish, again, I love talking fishing because I love fishing. The structure to this water is really beautiful as well. Check that out. All right, now we are over on the Pine River in Bayfield. For one, I'll first say I really, really love the structure of this water. I've said that before, I know, but just want to mention that throughout this entire river, really, really beautiful. If you look at the river in Bayfield, right where the sports complex is, the fields are, park, downtown area, structure of the water, really, really beautiful. Great fishing, in my opinion, because of that structure of the water. So I want to touch on that first. Also, that's a great area if you have kids to go play in the water, enjoy the water. Great sports complex, great playground, and then there's baseball fields, there's a skate park as well, so really awesome things to do in that area as well. There's a little track as well that you can walk or run around. So I know that's a little bit of a tangent, but wanted to mention that first while we're talking about that area. Now let's bring it back to properties off of this river, off the Pine River right here. So they're really, really nice, gorgeous properties here, and I think they're much more offered in these types of properties than you'll see in Durango. Now there are some properties in Durango that are on the river up in the Animas Valley. Up in the Animas Valley, as you go north of Durango, from 0 minutes up to 20 minutes north of Durango. So the Animas River in the Animas Valley up north of Durango is a little bit more that lazy river feel. It kind of has not as much structure, not as much flow to it like this, and it's not going to be as good at fishing in my opinion. So I want to compare and contrast that first. Now let's talk a little bit more about this area. What you're going to see is you're going to see a lot more properties that are a lot flatter. Some views, not crazy amazing out of this world mountain views, but you're going to see some ridges around you. You're going to see really good irrigation rights for the most part. But overall, I guess I want to just emphasize, I think you're going to have a better flowing river, better river to fish overall. And the big comparison I really want you to make or consider is the distance from Bayfield to in-town Durango. Or if you really don't care about that, then Bayfield, these areas are going to be higher on your list. Now with that, I want to reference some other videos that I shot in the past all about Bayfield. We will throw those up on the screen here, and make sure to check those out after you finish watching this video, because those go into great depth and detail on Bayfield. I know I mentioned that earlier, but really want to emphasize that because I could go into a lot of detail about the grocery store, the amenities, and I'll say a few things about that right now, but those videos do a great job. So the grocery store, fairly small. It's going to have your basics, your essentials. It's going to have some really good meat, but overall they don't have a ton of different things like a Whole Foods and Natural Grocers, things like that. So keep that in mind. Not a ton of restaurants. They do have a few great ones, but just a few, I'd say. All right, so now what I like to do is give you kind of a bonus neighborhood tour. So we're going to go over to Forest Groves, a neighborhood that is in Durango, but it's getting close to the border of Durango. So I want you to check that one out, a little bit closer to Durango. Maybe that's more what you're looking for, so that way this video can give you a little bit of comparison to what you might be able to get in a different neighborhood. A little bit smaller lot sizes, etc. But let's head over there now. All right, now we're in another subdivision called Forest Groves, and I want to give you this subdivision, give you a neighborhood tour of this subdivision because it is a really, really desirable subdivision. I've shown this to, just showed it to some clients right now, shown this to about 4 different clients in the matter of about a month this summer because it is just a gorgeous subdivision, has water running through the majority of the homes or the majority of the properties, decent sized lots, and check this out, river, absolutely beautiful river right here running right through the subdivision. There are some lots that are much bigger, and then there are some lots that are fairly small but still have a good amount of separation between them and other homes. Then it kind of goes up the road here, or there's a road that goes higher incline kind of above the neighborhood, and that road, what's amazing about those homes is although they're not on the water, they look right over the river and have these really, really cool views of the ridges beyond them, and the price points really vary in here. So I just showed a home at $535, I showed one at $500,000, both needing a lot of updates, both in that 1,700 square foot range, and the other home that I showed was around 2,300 square feet. That was closer to $800,000. And so you've got a big variation of homes and really different style of homes. There's a lot of wood homes, wood siding, log homes, a lot of rock, and just that kind of mountain feel that you're looking for, you're really gonna get that here. Now, some pros and cons about this area: they get a ton of snow, absolute ton of snow in here, quite a bit higher elevation. But the plus is I was just talking to some neighbors here, and they were telling us how they plow these streets, they do a really good job of plowing these streets, and they've only had one time in the past 33 years that they couldn't get out of their home because of all the snow. So they do a great job of plowing. Keep in mind, there's a lot of neighborhoods in this area. If you really want to be in this area, that kind of 20 to 25 minute bubble from downtown Durango, there's a lot of homes that, or neighborhoods that have steeper driveways and steeper roads going into the home. So this neighborhood, almost pancake flat roads for most of the neighborhood. And then there are some homes that do have a little bit steeper road going up to them. But for the most part, no sharp turns and just flatter driveways all across the board. Keep in mind, this river does run all year round. So you will see some homes, some listings say seasonal creek. Really be kind of skeptical of that. Like, they do have seasonal creeks throughout Durango, throughout this area, but this river, the Pine River, runs all year round. I'll walk up here and show you the flow of this again. Really, really amazing river. Really amazing river. Check it out. Amazing flow right here. I'm right on this bridge. And something else that's really cool about this subdivision is they have a little island that is accessed by everyone. There's a little trail that goes to it, and you've got this area right off of the river that everybody can access as well. A few other things about this neighborhood. When you're talking trails, can I access trails quickly from here? Yes, you can. Sheer Creek Trail, just down the road by less than a mile. Really good parking lot. Cons of it are a lot of horses. A lot of people do take horses on that that trail as well. So it's not just bikes and hiking, but really cool trail, about a 7.3 mile trail right there. Then there's a ton of trails as you continue going east towards Vallecito, Lemon Reservoir, and you're not very far from Lemon Reservoir here as well. So you've got some great fishing there, kayaking, boating, paddleboarding, really cool lake there as well. So you're closer to a lot of outdoor activities here and still kind of in that 20-25 minute bubble from downtown Durango. Guys, if you're even thinking about moving here, give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. We've got your back when it comes to moving to Durango, Pagosa, Bayfield, Hesperus, Cortez, this entire southwest Colorado area. We'd love to help you out. Like I mentioned earlier, licensed realtor, love to put the drone up in the air for you, give you a property area tour, happy to hop on a Zoom call as well and discuss exactly what you're looking for, hop into your criteria, and really see if we can show you some other properties, some other areas that you might not be thinking about. Looking forward to connecting with you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.